Hey, how you doing? This is Kitch, and you are watching me play Factorio. We're not quite there yet. We're at 32. I actually took some out and went ahead and created some nuclear fuel because I think we're on the upside of that. I also added some more of these and put some speed modules in them just to help move this process along. It's helped a little bit. I have gone through and put radar in some areas, just so we can see. There's no real reason to see over here anymore because we don't have a biter threat anymore, but it's nice to look over just to see how things are going from time to time. I did confirm that those were worms over there. We may go do something about them, but probably not. I went and put some radar up here just so we can watch what's going on up here on this front. We put one down here as well. There was a base right here that I took out because it was constantly aggroing on these turrets down here, and it's overly protected, I believe, but we've just got ludicrous amounts of ammunition right now. We've got 9.6k in there. 9.4k. All right, so that chest is almost completely full of ammo because I went around the base and just took out all of the turrets, and I think I got them all. They weren't doing much. So yeah, in this episode, I want to get nuclear power up and running so we can get that monkey off of our back. We have 46 in the can here, and I've got 4 in my pocket, and we'll set up a little bit of a system that'll conserve that so it won't be used very much. Right after we go ahead and roll the intro. So let's do it. I designed this reactor a very, very long time ago. Was it .14? .15 when nuclear power came out? It was shortly after that. The ratios should be correct. It's very spread out though, and not very optimal. But it works. It works just fine. I got to looking at this, and it's looking like all of these steam pipes here are linked together, and all of these steam pipes over here are linked together, and ne'er the twain shall meet. And that's fine. I want to set up a little bit of a steam storage area, and I grabbed a couple of tanks for that. And let's just put it right here on the end of both of these, and that should encompass all of our steel stuff. And, all right, and we want to keep track of how much steam that we have, because if we have reserve steam in here, we don't want to burn any more nuclear fuel. We want to just go ahead and hold off inserting another one of these guys into the can until all that steam is, or at least the steam is at a low level. So we can do that with a decider combinator. Let's grab one of those, and I will put that right here. We'll use red wire. We seem to have an excess of that. I want to get the amount of steam going into this decider, and I want to say if the steam is less than what? 1,000? 500 steam units in each tank. If it's less than that, we want to output a signal of... let's just do steam. I usually like to do generic kind of variables. The reason I'm doing steam is because when I was reviewing how to do this, or how I did this before, I didn't know what the S meant that I was sending out. Okay, that's good. That's fine. We want to send that out onto the power pole here. I think that would be the best way to do it. We're going to want to stretch that signal down to the other end of the reactor. And can I get through here? Yeah, excuse me, pardon me. Yeah, that's right, that right there. All right, and we want to connect this up to these guys, who are the inserters that are pulling out the empty canister out of the reactor. Can I do that from here? Yes, I can. All right, and that's a big mess, but it's fine. Okay, so that will go from there, and then we want to, we only want to enable these when Steam is greater than 0. So they're not going to pull the empty canisters out of the reactors until there is less than 1K steam in both of these tanks. That's the way that should work out. All right, and they'll send those out to active provider chests where robots will take them away. We need to set up a recycling program for that. Do we have that discovered? We should. I think we've got most of the important sciences done. Yeah, nuclear fuel reprocessing is something that we have. All right, so that will be that. You guys are going to request, do we want to request 10? Let's not request 10. Let's request, it's, what's our robot carry size? Robot cargo capacity +3. What is it by default? Okay, cargo capacity 4. All right, and do we have another level of that we may research someday? Robot speed. I mean, I think we have an infinite one, right? Do we not? It's the big one, right? Sorry, just trying to look at what the research looks like. It's this one. It's the robot with the little plus on him, and we do not have another one. If it is, it's very wily and is hiding from me well. All right, so 4, I guess, is going to be our max. So yeah, 4. That's what we have there. That's right. We want to set that request to 4 so it won't go over. And I set it to 1 earlier in the last series, I believe, and it delivered 4 anyway because that's the capacity of the logistic bots when they're carrying it. They're going to deliver 4 anyway. So this is me just saying, hey, yeah, fine. You know, you go ahead and do that. All right, and we need to hook up these inserters to these inserters. And we want to enable these only when this is greater than 0. And we also need to check these to make sure we are reading the hand contents. Very nice. All right, so that and that. Okay, so when this guy pulls it out, he is going to have a signal of this because that's what he's going to be grabbing. And that enables this guy to go ahead and throw another one in. Let's see, do we want to override the stack size of that to 1 just because? I believe the answer to that is yes. All right, I think that should be working. I will put you guys over there, and we'll move that logic onto these, and trust but verify, enable, disable, read hand contents. I believe that's right. I believe that is correct. All right, I went ahead and got 4 of these. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to do this individually. 1 in there. Oh, I'm putting them in the wrong side. Okay, so that one's going. I put it in the fuel side, Kitch, the one that has the big fuel symbol on it. All right, that's going to warm up those reactors. Now, the question I have is, why are these not being sent? Did I not make that into a... I made it into a buffer chest. Okay, that explains why those are not going our way. So we just want to make that checkbox and copy all of that across. All right, and then we just wait for these guys to warm up, and that should all be good to go. You guys are delivering. You are not inserting, because we're going to wait till there is... why are you inserting? Oh, we don't have it wired up. we don't have it wired up. Okay, you hadn't received yours yet. Enable disable when that is set. Okay. Crisis averted. Nuclear meltdown averted. All right, let's throw these into there. What are we at now? 36. We need 4 more. Oh, we're so close. Okay. So again, as these produce heat, the heat that'll transfer the heat pipes, these guys will produce steam. It'll produce more steam than we need to run these turbines, in theory, and because of electrical demands, things like that. So it'll save up the steam in these tanks. Once that steam, if that steam is above 1K, it's not going to insert another one, or it's not actually going to pull out the used one, so there won't be any room for a new one to go in. Stack size is 1, stack size is 1. All right, I think that is going to be good to go, so we can forget about that for a while and move on to other things. Just check that. All right, we need 3 more. Our alarm is going to be ready to go and set so that it will let us know whenever we can get Covarex and finally get that finished and pretty much hands-free. All right, I did make a change down here to the factory. I basically doubled up the red and green science as it was bottlenecking a little bit, as it tends to do, especially on some of the sciences that are very fast. This one's a 45-second one, but like some of these are like 30-second ones. And yeah, it bottlenecks on the red and green science. And actually the one we're doing right now, you can see we're not... well, actually it's bottlenecking on a different one. Well, that's fine. It's now bottlenecking on the other ones because it looks like we need military science for that. It's fine. We know we're producing the right amounts of things. And somebody pointed out in like episode 5 that I didn't have this belt right here going to the end. I did fix that eventually, just to point it out. All right, so let's get to work on some rockety parts here. The first thing I want to do is I want to take this and I want to duplicate it down here. Let's see. Let's move this machine. Actually, you know what? These machines are totally not needed anymore. Especially the efficiency machine. Let's switch these. I want to do productivity modules. I'd like to get productivity modules in our rocket silo. If you've never done the math on that, the savings are really quite significant. Let's see, I'm going to move that there. That there. Productivity module 3s. Yeah, they should take these chips as well as one of these. Long-handed inserter. Can I make one? What do I need for that? Gears and iron. Do I have that? Yeah, I'll just make one here real quick. Okay. The power pole there, and we'll send those out to a chest. And how many of these do we want? Maybe, is it everything? Everything is less than, I think it's 4 is what it holds in there. All right, and we're almost done here. And there's very, very little that can go wrong here, but I just want to make sure. All right, that's going across. All right, that's fine. That is good. All right. Oh, there's our tank. Okay, so we need to... We're making low-density structures. I think we need to make more low-density structures, but we also need to make rocket parts as well as more rocket fuel in order to get our final step here and get the rocket launched. Boy, we've had so much solid fuel. It's been just backed up forever. I think we're going to need more, however. Hey, fries are done. Fantastic. If you can't hear that, if that's not coming through, it is kind of quiet. All right. We have extra. Why are we getting extra? I don't know. I'll take it. All right, so we need 40 of those to get this started. We need to put those 40 in this chest right here. All right, and that gets the Covarex process started. And that pretty much does all this. You have everything you need. That's going to pop out, and when one of those pops out, it's going to go into here and create more fuel for us. Fantastic. How is this going? The nuclear reactors are offline right now because we have 68,000 steam here ready to go. Yeah, that's pumping out some power there. That's pumping out some power. All right, and our reactors are offline since we have so much steam. The empties are hanging out up there. All right. So yeah, we were going to do rocket parts. We're not going to do that anymore. We're going to go ahead and finish this up. Okay, first thing I want to do is remove most of these. They're just not needed anymore now that we have our Covarex set up and running. That's going to come... we do want one, however, like right there. And we want to take this above and over and come on that side right there. And this one's going to be our reprocessing. This is going to recycle the old canisters. That should just go into the 238. Produces 3 of those. All right, and we just want a requester chest and an inserter. And is that in robot range? It is. And we want to request the used up uranium cells. Just put that right there. All right, so when those kick out, they will come up here and get reprocessed here. Those will get spit out on the line and thrown into the system here. Let's see, do we want to go ahead and exit those out? There is the potential, however unlikely, for that to back up. So let's do that. You guys will go out on that side. And we'll start making fuel that way. Okay, this is getting ready to do its thing. It should spit out one thing after all this process is done. And the last one, there's one left that gets spit out on the line and thrown down here to make some more fuel. All right, well, this has gone just basically full circle, and this is now a closed system. We can just completely ignore it. That reactor will provide the power we need for hopefully the rest of the game. Just out of curiosity, where does that come in at? That comes in... It's like right here. We shut that off. Does that get... All right, you guys are pushing 60 megawatts with that set up. You guys up here... I forget what it is. Yeah, looks like it's getting... We're getting 60, we're getting 53 from that. But we're not... the turbines aren't turbining very well. Yeah, see, it's very, very low performance. So we'll probably get a lot more out of that. I forget, it's like... I forget the number. I forget the number that four reactors with the neighbor bonus will give you. I should have done my research before we did this. Sorry. Okay, so that's all set up. That is good to go. We've got a lot of garbage in our inventory here. I set this one right here up as a buffer chest. We put a lot of stuff in here, though. Let's set it up to the amount. There are 48, so it would be 4,800. Is that correct? Okay, so that will recycle that, and we have a recycler for our uranium ore right here. So, yeah, if we just throw that in there, bots should take it away and put it where it needs to go. All right, enough nuclear stuff. Once that gets all drained out of my inventory, we no longer have to do that anymore. I don't have the numbers for 45 science a second as far as space science is concerned. The only one I remember is that we need to double our low-density structure production. So this was enough for the science. We need another one just for rockets. I don't know that I really care too much about the 45 science a second on the space, because once we launch the rocket, I'm planning on wrapping up this particular series. But one thing we may do is expand out the solid fuel. Maybe use this area right here for more solid fuel. I think we may need more oil to keep that up, but man, it's looking... I don't remember what the number was for 45 science a second on all the sciences, but it was more than this. I think it may have been double that. I should have them. I'm not researching very well on this episode. I'll have the numbers for the next one. We'll do that. But we need to basically get another one of these. We need to get one dedicated for rocket control units. And we need one for the rocket fuel as well as making satellites. Now, can we make those? We cannot. Why? Oh, because we have to research this. All right, so we are... that'll be active once we get there. It requires processing units. We'll probably need some more of those. Accumulators. That is something we are currently not making. What do we need for accumulators? I know it's batteries and something. Batteries and iron plate. That's very straightforward. We have batteries and iron plate right here. Are those made in a chemical plant? No, that would be silly. Of course they're made in a regular manufacturer. Why wouldn't they be? Yeah. And how many of those do we need? 100? I think it's 100. And 100 solar panels. What do we need for solar panels? Let's see, do we send these out to the bus? We don't send them out to the bus. For solar panels, is it steel and electric circuits and copper? We have steel. We have electric circuits. We have batteries. We might be able to make a little facility right here for making solar panels as well as accumulators. How much time do we have? Yeah, let's do that. We'll just run one line of batteries. Let's see. That's accumulators. That's solar panels. Iron. And batteries. How much iron do you need? 2 and 5 batteries. And you make accumulators. You send out to a box. 10 seconds. We'll send that out to a buffer chest. And you require copper, steel, and electronic circuits. So we can steal copper from up there. And we need to get a line of steel and electric circuits coming this way. That's the wrong way. Filter steel to the left. Okay, that gives us our steel coming that way. I was going to say, is there a way to stick that in the back there? That is not going to work, though. I'd like to not take that over an extra tile if I don't have to. Looks like we're going to have to. And that should probably be fast. You're going to be solar panels. Is that all you need? I believe so. And boom, boom. And that's good. All right, and we're not doing solar-y stuff. Let's enable you while... accumulators are less than 100. And you, while solar panels are less than 100. And we'll get that all nice and going. It's 100 of each, right? Yep. And radar, we're making in the mall. That looks good to me. All right, well, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you in the next episode where I guess we get our rocket parts all nice and situated. One thing I did want to do, just real quick, to close up this episode, while we're still under the 30-minute mark, I want to grab our upgrade planner, and I want to get this circuit setup upgraded. We're not getting enough of the good stuff in here. And I just want to update all of that to red. And all of this to red. All right, and that should be good. And let's get another splitter, like, right over here. Because these guys were having some problems with their output because everything was going to the middle. The splitter here just will split it up between the lines and put in some gaps for these guys to be able to place their stuff down. All right, and that's actually not going to be enough because that is going to eat up that whole red belt. Let's put an output priority on the right for you. And let's grab some additional copper off of this line. And take you down and send you out. There's no need for a priority there because there is nothing coming down. All right, so that should fill that up. And it'll prioritize that. We're not quite ratio perfect right now by any means, but we're limited to the amount of green circuits we can send out based off of the amount of iron that we can send in. And since we're sending in basically we're taking in a red belt, but we're dividing it in half. So we are getting 2 yellow belts of iron coming in at any given time, and we have 2 belts of circuits going out. So that should be good, and that should make you work at peak efficiency. Just because, let's go ahead and grab this red setup. What was that? Oh, it's the cliffs being blown up. That's a good change. I very much enjoy that change. We'll probably still have to expand this out a bit. This isn't fixing anything at all. Trees can go away. And that's all in robot range. It is. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to go ahead and set up this line down here as well. But we'll look into that maybe in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you then. Have a good one.